long have you been with the theater?
About 8 years.
So,
I think only 8 years in July.
So 8 years in July. So tell me the story about how you got involved with the theater real fast.
Well, actually, I had just lost my job with the hospital, and my brother had opened a store just down the street, and it was going along so fabulously that he really needed someone to do his, day-to-day banking work. I'd never done. What is that?
The accounting for the store? Did you?
Yeah. Oh, what do you call it? It's an app for your computer. I can't think of it. Well, I'd never used it before.
QuickBooks?
Yeah, QuickBooks.
Okay.
And so I learned that enough to, to get rolling. And so I went in there and I worked all the time. And then I was I went for unemployment, and I was, trying to get another job.
Right.
And I thought I had landed a really nice one with hospice. And I don't know, something happened in the nth hour, because I went through several interviews, and
Everything was good.
Everything was good, and then the last minute I didn't get it. They thought that I was overly qualified, and that they would just be replacing me. Blah blah blah. That's the excuse.
Right.
So anyway, then I was a board member here.
Okay.
And the girl who was doing the job that I do now was leaving. And
So, I didn't know. Now here we go, because I didn't know this, Michelle. So, actually, I thought you were involved from the moment that they started this again.
Well, I'll tell you what, I kind of got myself involved because it was not that I never thought that we could make this happen, but I just thought, oh my God, it's going to cost millions of dollars.
Right.
And I knew Mike was good at grants and everything, but I mean, it was a lot to...
Sure.
And so the minute that I saw that, it really was going to fall in place, I kind of told on myself. And I got involved, and they asked me to be a member of the board, so I helped on the board. And then when I found out that I can't think of her name, Mary Beckendorf. When I found out that she was no longer going to stay with them, I said, gosh, I really like an opportunity. And at that point, I knew the hospice thing wasn't going to work. And so they said, oh my gosh, that's great. So
really, but you've been, just as Mike was the catalyst to get this thing up and off the ground,
yes,
you've been the catalyst for the success of this thing.
Yes, I learned some media and that type of marketing that I hadn't done as much. But as far as she just wasn't, she didn't have that drive that I have, I just, I'm not afraid of stuff. I just dig in. And
I do the same thing, but I think you have to in life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're intimidated, even if you're prepared for it, if you're intimidated, it's not going to work.
No, I mean, even at the hospital, after I got that wonderful job and everything, I was so excited. They had no idea what they really wanted in a patient advocacy department. So if I had not been a self-starter, I'd have saw them.
Right.
I mean, because they sat me in a little cubby. They gave me a package of index cards, a phone, and that was about it. And
I'm picturing some weird surreal movie where you're just in this room with a light bulb and a chair and a desk, and they're like, here's the part.
And I had two other people in the office with me, and they were kind of in odd little places too. And so I would ask them questions every now and then, and we got along famously. But I would have failed had I not had that kind of drive. And when I knew about regular marketing, I knew that we needed to, I talked them into doing a capital campaign. I mean, all those kinds of things.
So now let's...
And I had to do that here.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Let's use last night as an example. Right. So did you do a lot of social media promoting and marketing for that event?
Yes. And see, when I first came here, I had a couple of people say to me, Annie next door has had a or a spiritualist or a medium. Do you think you could ever do that here? And I said, yeah, I probably could. So, I dug in, I found a couple of people, blah, blah, blah. And would you mind just keeping an eye out for that guy? Paul was going to put a note on my desk, but I just don't want him to leave.
Oh, who are you looking for?
The man that's going to direct our meeting.
Oh, okay.
So,
You're okay on time?
pardon? Well, he's supposed to be here at 4, but
As soon as he shows, we can stop.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Because we'll get something.
So that's really what you have to do is you have to find areas where there are needs, and then I had the board who to this day will come to me and say, have you ever thought of, just like what we're doing today for the cornhole tournament. Let's try a cornhole tournament. And so immediately I found that there was a website in Olean and man who owns software that can do that. And so I just contacted him to see if he could advertise on that site.
Right.
And he said he'd come in and talk to us. And I dug out some other people. Annie's husband next door, he's an expert. John knows some, stuff. So you pull it together. And see, what Mary never did is Mary didn't like to be on site because she had little children.
And you have
absolutely
to be on site.
Yeah. So in the times that I was coming here, like say we would have 5 events, she maybe would attend 1.
Oh my God.
Are you serious? I don't even know how it worked if the other board members hadn't been so dedicated that it would never.
Well, and the success that you're seeing here and the amount of people that have come to every event I've been to, it's been full, every event. Now, I know probably that's not the case every single solitary event, but that's huge.
I know. And it really has come back alive, Tony, because in the fall, in October, I hosted our consortium meeting here, and we discussed, and of all those theaters and opera houses, everybody was experiencing, since COVID, a decline. In their audience, and they also were all very concerned about the price point.
Right.
And so we're all being very, very cautious about what we're doing. So when this opportunity came to fruition to have the sweet tea trio, and we could get it for $400, I immediately reached out to the cheese shop, who has always been good to us, and said, would you be willing to support this? It's $400. Well, she didn't take 2 seconds to say, well, yes, of course. So we had no worries.
Awesome.
Even if 10 people had shown up, but they did it. And we know how to market, we know where to market, and so that's really kind of
perfect.
Yeah.
That's good enough for now. You want to leave it there so you can go shoot? Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. So we just peck away at this. How's that, with you?